This is the jig I was telling you that I made. Just got a piece of lumber, stripped it here. Sorry, put the square there. Now these measurements, I got a line draw here, 1.25 inches from this board to the line. From this line to here is 1.5 inches. This is the height of the doorway that the seed falls down. Is roughly 3/4 inch. What I do is when I'm stacking up the logs, when I get to here, that's where I'll cut off that point there, whether it's 3.5, 3 3/4, or 7 inches. Just makes it neater, right? You don't have to cut through the board, you just cut to the last log. I'll stack one log in here tight to this, and the next one comes to the line, next one in tight, next one here. You see the pattern, zigzag pattern. Good morning, folks. This is the base, the roof, and the porch. I cut a piece of plywood that's 42 inches long, which is going to cover all the plywood, 12.5 inches wide. For the roof, which is 9 inches, both sides, and the porch section is 5 inches. Each is 12.5. For the base, it's 17.25. I got this 12, but now I got to rip this back again to 10.5. It's easier to do that way, or I found it easier to do that way. I'm using 3/8 plywood here. I don't sand this down a bit. I'm using 3/8 because this is going to be a giveaway. I'm going to make it a little bit lighter if possible. You can use 1/2 inch, 3/4, whatever you want for this. It's all going to work out to the same. So I'll show you the sections after it's done. Folks, I got all the pieces sawed out here now. I got the porch, 12.5 by 5. 2 pieces for the roof, 12.5 by 9. The piece that was 17.25 by 12.5, I ripped it down to 10.5. So this 12.5 can go. The piece that I ripped off the side of that is a little less than 2 inches. I just put my saw down and put 2 little marks through here. I'll saw this off. This would be the side for the window framing, the shutters on the windows. You see as it go. Now this stuff here is going to come out a different color because the plywood is colored with the sun in the air, I guess. It might come out a little red or orange or whatever. But that's the best I can do. Bye. Okay, folks, I got all the lumber cut off to the proper length. On these 2 logs at 16.5 inch. So I cut the first board 16.5 inch over about 2 logs. Then I'll cut the remainder of the board off 15 1/4 and take the other 2 out of it. I set off 3 pieces of 1 by 6 because it needs 13 logs at 11.5. It needs 16 logs at 10 inches. I need 15 logs at 9 inches. And I need 14 logs at 12.5. I'll strip all these out now at 3/4 inch. Separate them. And then I'll shove them through I'll do it with a hand planer. Just shove them through, make a little shafer. Sort of give them a little square edge on it. And I'll show you when that's done. Once I got all the lags ripped out, I get the 10s, 11 and a half, 9, oh, excuse me, 12 and a half. This one is 16 and a half. I got to cut the other two off, 15 and 1/4. What was left over from those two pieces, I'll cut on a 30-degree angle for the ridge cap. I'll show you how to do that. The lumber I got here is a bit wet, so it's ragging out, so I'll let it dry off a bit before I start sanding her down or planing her down. I don't mind a bit of ragged edge here because it's good for holding the paint and stain. If it was too bad, you could always fit it inside or between two other lags. Pick your best pieces for the outside of your lag cabin. And I'll show you how I'm going to stack these together now when I get some done, and go with this pattern now here that I showed you a while ago. There's going to be the door. When I get the door done, I'll put a piece there so that you'll see where the where the windows is going to be at, and the slope of the roof. Takes a little bit of time, but it's fun to do. Okay, I'm ready to start assembling the walls now. I'm going to do the front wall first. That's the one with the door into it. So I'm using the 9" one and 11 and a half. I'm going to use 2 9s here first, and you'll see why. And then I'm going to use 11 and a half. I'm using 9" ones, a double one here, because the side wall extends on out here for the porch area. So instead of cutting this off, we just put it here. Now, each one I'm going to, right here, I'm just going to put a nail in through here. I'll put a nail in through here. I might put one here just to hold it in place. But this is going to be cut out along this line here. So I'm just going to stack them here now and show you each one. Each one's going to come to this line there, follow this line and this line. Oh, wait the wrong one there. Take another one. This is simple here because this one always ends up to the side of this here, right here. Take another one. Go to there. Another one to there. Another one to here. Remember what I said, when whatever comes the closest, so it looks like my next lag is going to come right to the end of that. So now I'm going to take a saw. When I get this nailed, I'll take a saw, come over here and cut to this one here. I'm not going to cut halfway through this lag here. I'll just finish off the next one, this one there. The next one to go over. I'll extend that up to the height I need, which I'll let you know what it is. On top of this one here is going to be a taper lag. I showed you on the first start of this. When I started off, I said that the front and the back has 2 lags that has to be tapered.